So here we have Pisa. Pisa is an Andalusian, and we're going to be working on how to teach the advanced side pass. So before, we kind of learned how to do the side pass where we're in front of the horse, but I want to show you guys now how to advance it and refine it. So you may remember how I had you guys crossing your legs at the with the first side pass. With the advanced side pass, you're going to see why that's so important. In the beginning, it's just for you guys to remember and start getting that muscle memory, but here I'm going to show you in a little bit why that is so important. So in the original side pass, and we'll warm her up here, in the original side pass, we have our sticks set like this, and I'll go ahead and ask her just to remind her. And here I'm just going to move with her, stay in position. There's a really nice side pass, good girl. So we have our side pass position here. Now what's going to happen is I'm just changing which way I'm standing. I went from facing her to facing the same direction as her, but my whips stay the same. So my fence is still here, and my carriage whip is going to go behind my back. So a common mistake I see people make is they cue at the wrong place. You want to still cue at the ribs. So if you need to practice kind of rubbing your horse's belly and near the ribs, you can. Sometimes I see people trying to reach too far, and they'll be trying to cue over the back. Our horse doesn't know what that means. We need to keep our cue the same. So even if that means kind of getting that muscle memory, kind of feeling out where you need to be cueing before you begin, because it's really important we continue to ask in the same spot. So I had mentioned about crossing the legs. We've been crossing our legs as a cue. Now it's going to make a little bit more sense. Horses by nature mirror. Like when you see a mother and her foal, they're mirroring each other. So that's a natural behavior for horses. She's not going to know what this means, but horses are sensitive enough, they can pay attention to these little cues. So what's going to happen is when my legs cross like this, I'm crossing the direction I want my horse to go. My hip is driving energy at her. Later on, for a different type of side pass, I step away, which opens my body up and invites her into my space. When I step into her, I'm now driving energy towards her and making that more clear to her which way I'm wanting her to go. So I'm kind of standing in a similar spot. I've got plenty of space so that when I do go to step and into her, that she can see my hip. I don't want to be so close that I'm just stepping and just pushing into her. I want her to be able to see that subtle movement of my hip going into her. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my whips in position. I'm going to click. I'm looking behind my shoulder. Good girl, very nice. And I'll rub her here. So I had to help her a little bit by driving energy and using this stick in the front to kind of help keep her in the movement, but that was really good. We'll go ahead and work on that a little bit until maybe I don't have to use that stick so much. So I'm crossing. Good girl. So there I didn't have to raise that stick to help her. You'll notice that I only cross my legs once. I'm not crossing with her. What'll happen is I'll just keep pushing her shoulder. I cross my legs to cue to her, but then I let my whips do the work. Good girl. I'm gonna go ahead and walk her for that. That way she's not falling asleep. And that was a really good effort on her part. So you want to make sure your horses get really good at the side pass, which she has that down really well, and that's why it's able to go so smoothly for the side pass, the advanced side pass. So here I'm going to ask again. Nice, good girl. So you can see that while straightness will be something we'll have to work on later on, her front legs and hind legs are moving laterally and crossing, okay? We'll do that one more time and then I'm gonna switch sides. There, that was nice. I really liked that one. She didn't kind of fumble through it right away. She was like, side pass away from you. That's what I'm gonna do. So that was awesome. Good girl. I'm gonna go ahead and walk her. And then we're gonna work on the other side. So before I ask the new way, I'm gonna remind her of how to side pass this by standing in front of her, the first way we learned. So here, I'm gonna pick up on her rib and kind of help her through that, good girl. And then I'm gonna rub her. Okay, so she's very eager to do this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and now get into the advanced position where I'm now facing the same direction as her. So again, I'm starting far enough away that she can see my hip move into her. I'm gonna step, click. My whip's here ready to raise if I need it. Good, good girl. And then I'm gonna rub her. I'm rubbing this side of her body again because this is the side of her body that I'm working on. So I really wanna make sure that I stay consistent with that. I'm gonna go ahead and walk her and release. This is her reward. And then we're gonna do that again. So as your horse gets better, you can start with your stick down low, but don't try to block from here. Try to go over the nose if you need to create a barrier for the horse to not go forward. Here I'm gonna step. Beautiful, there. I didn't have to raise my stick that time. I was able to use my hip as a cue, and then I just gently kind of directed a little bit of energy with my stick, directing it towards her ribs, and it was super subtle, very soft. That's where I would love to see them in their first session. If they don't quite get that far and they're able to just move off of the sticks pretty consistently without pushing forward, that's awesome too. If she were to be pushy, some troubleshooting, some things that I see horses do is they can start to push forward. Hopefully by this point our horses are confident enough in lateral movement that they're not trying to push forward, but if for some reason they were, then you would just go into the correctional backup to remind them, hey, we're not wanting you to come forward. Really great releases. She's licking and chewing and yawning. She's super confident and relaxed about this. So a really great spot to end her side pass, advanced side pass.